Woody, we talked about that gentleman. You'll know his name probably, and if not, I'll feel like an asshole. But for putting you on the spot, but the guy who like crashed his plane.
Oh, let me look it up. Something Everett or something?
So,
James Everett?
so
I'll
let me
find it.
give. I like doing this occasionally. I like giving my very ignorant take on something, and you, who is much more informed, filling in the blanks for me. So
Only
it seems that
occasionally,
this
though, right?
guy is some kind of like. It seems like this guy is a YouTuber.
TrevorJacob.
TrevorJacob makes YouTube videos about being a pilot and doing extreme things, it would seem. And recently, he made a video where he's in a real shitbox of an airplane that I can't imagine he normally flies. I mean, I don't know a lot about airplanes, but I was looking at buying an $80,000 airplane once, and it was 10 times nicer than this fucking plane. So I would say this plane looks like it cost about 8,000 fucking dollars.
Can I
And
jump in a little?
yeah,
So he did buy an inexpensive airplane, as Kyle described. Some people would think that this like 1934 airplane was kind of an heirloom to be cared for, not to be trashed. Carry on.
yeah. So in the video, he's got cameras everywhere. And the first thing I noticed was he's wearing a fucking parachute. Then he's like, oh no, the engine's out. But he starts doing this thing like where he's pulling the yoke or whatever back and forth and like stalling the plane out on purpose, clearly. And then you go to another camera angle. There's a GoPro on the fucking wing. And then there's another one on the tail. The tail one is pointing forward. The one on the wings pointed toward the cockpit. And so you've got these really great angles. There's another camera in the cockpit with him, and he's wearing one. And he's got his like stick cam, you know.
He was prepared.
So already I'm a little skeptical about the amount of camera equipment this man brings on his daily flights.
Can I add to the parachute thing?
Yeah.
So it's uncommon for a pilot to carry a parachute, but not unheard of. It is unheard of to carry a skydiving parachute with a reserve backup for your regular plane flight.
Let me ask you this. Is it common for them to be wearing the motherfucker?
Yeah, like you can have
Really?
like a narrow backpack that you might
Okay.
wear, or especially
Looks
if
like
you're like a combat pilot in the old days, like they would have a
Oh,
setup
for
like
sure
that.
then.
Yeah. Well, that setup can still exist today, but it's not very common. What he had, if I understand it right, was a legit skydiving uniform on with like thick reusable
It
stuff.
looks sick. And by the way, you guys can watch this video if you want. Like just search the man's name and you'll find like not only his video, but like tons of reaction videos. The reaction videos are lame because they're under they pretend like we've been doing for the last minute that we don't know that the man just like jumped out of his plane for shits and giggles to like show you what a plane looks like when it crashed. And but the problem is, I think, is that he filed like an FAA report, maybe saying, whoopsie daisy, had a bit of a crash. And it's clear he didn't. It's clear that he crashed his plane on purpose. But he has great camera angles from all those GoPros because they all got recovered. And when he's like parachuting in or whatever, he's filming the plane as it makes these like loops and like faster and faster toward a mountain. You get to see the plane hit a mountain. And so I think what he did is like crazy irresponsible, I guess, and wasteful too. But that's right up my fucking alley, right? Crazy, irresponsible, and wasteful. So I got no issue with that. And it seems like, look, I don't know a lot about planes. Again, seemed like he rigged the plane to make right turns though, because it just sort of like went round and round and then crashed. My only thought would be like, could the you know how like sometimes a rider will come off a motorcycle and that bike has a funny way of just going straight up because they're meant to do that and it's perfectly balanced. Like I'd be worried that maybe he jumps out, the plane rights itself and glides like 8 miles to like a city.
Maybe the reason it spiraled down is because he accounted for that. Like he went to a spot where it'd be safe to crash a plane, you know? Like he
I
didn't
really
do it
think he
over a
did.
city or over a neighborhood or
Yeah,
something like that.
agreed.
He went safe to crash a plane.
It looked
Look,
desolate. I was
you know-
worried. I was worried about how he was going to get out of where he was landing. It was so goddamn desolate.
Yeah, like if there is a responsible way to abandon your airplane, perhaps this is it. And he clearly jumped out of the airplane.
Yeah, on purpose
for a
to
YouTube
crash it.
video.
Yeah.
But so there's something called a NASA report where if you violate an FAA rule and then you say, "Hey, I violated it. I didn't want to. This is why I made this mistake." I did this once. I was flying and my motor went out. And I had two choices. I could either fly over houses and get back to my yard, which I've landed in 1,000 times and I'm very good at it, or I could land like in the marsh and take my chances. So I decided that my move was to fly over houses, which you can't do, and land in my yard. Then I filed a NASA report. I was like, "Hey, this is why I broke this rule." You know, it seemed like a safety issue for me. And and you're all set. This guy filed a NASA report. Like, hey man, darndest thing happened. While I was wearing a skydiving outfit with 6 GoPros all over the plane broke. So I had to jump. He didn't have to jump. He could have landed this thing safely. It just turned into a glider. You know, he would have been fine.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, he abandoned the plane and said, you know, oopsie daisy. Here's my get out of jail free card. Made a mistake.
Yeah, he did the opposite of what we said we wanted pilots to do last week, and that was stay with their plane to the last minute before they eject. He ejected, and the plane was fine.
He's at like 12,000 feet. I give up.
Yeah.
I'm out.
But I think it's a pretty cool video. I enjoyed watching it. I hope he doesn't get in any trouble, because like what he did was like all the things that I said, but it was also a cool fucking video. And I guess I don't care about FAA rules. Like
I couldn't care less.
I'm with you guys. Like there are good FAA rules designed to keep people safe. Most of the rules around paramotoring are designed to keep other people safe. They're like, you can be as stupid as you want, but don't fly over people, houses, crowds, shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't fly in places where there are other planes, like big airports. Yeah. And it's like, these all seem like fair rules. You know, I'm cool with it. This guy may have broken some rules, but in a way that he didn't put anyone else in danger. So I don't care.
Yeah, I agree.
The video is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm watching it. It's pretty neat.
It's pretty fucking cool. Like I'd never seen. I don't know. Like modern cameras are so good. GoPros are so good.
Yeah, this is amazing quality too. Yeah.
There was a part where when he's skydiving, when the background looks so scenic and stuff, I was like, you know, if this was CGI, I couldn't tell it. Like
it looks like a movie almost.
It looks like
it's beautiful.
It's so beautiful. It doesn't look real. It's got a cool effect. But
Absolutely.
I mean, I think what I think is super lame is how all the other like plane guys on YouTube or whatever are like giving this guy shit, because I think they're just jealous. I think they're just jealous that this guy like is getting so much attention, and so they're doing the dumbest fucking thing they could and giving him a lot more attention. Like,
yes.
And like they've never played this game before because they make stupid fucking airplane videos. But trust me, like the best thing you do is shut the fuck up and file a report with the FAA, dummy.
It is impossible to make entertaining aircraft videos. Like it's basically driving with lots of rules, and you just go up and drive in a super noisy environment.
Mm-hmm.
They're almost all bad.